Okay, we're live now. Hi everyone, welcome to this webinar hosted by EcoRegistry. My name is Valentina Mondragon. I am the strategy director here at EcoRegistry, and the topic today of this webinar is the importance of digitizing solutions for financing, monitoring, and verification. I'm going to give a quick intro and then I'm going to present both our panelists today that are with us. Just give me one sec. Okay. So in today's rapidly growing digital landscape, the importance of digitizing solutions for financing, monitoring, and verification cannot be overstated. As climate markets across the globe strive for great efficiency, transparency, and security, traditional paper-based systems are giving way to innovative digital solutions that offer numerous benefits. Whether it's streamlining the allocation of funds, enhancing monitoring capabilities, or improving verification procedures, digitization has emerged as a game changer, revolutionizing the way stakeholders in the market operate. Furthermore, the digitization of monitoring process has brought the opportunity to have real-time data analysis and decision-making to stop relying on manual data collection and sporadic reporting. With digitized monitoring systems, organizations can access and analyze data instantaneously, allowing for proactive decision-making and early detection of anomalies. Digital solutions offer improved operational and efficiency and cost optimization. Moreover, in an age where the trust and authenticity are essential to ensuring data integrity, the adoption of digital platforms and technology has the potential to revolutionize the carbon market, driving efficiency and enhancing trust in the digital ecosystem. With these webinars, what we aim at EcoRegistry is to showcase different solutions that we have seen in the market. We consider these solutions to be a good alternative for more and more climate mitigation projects to be implemented worldwide, and also to enhance transparency in issued credits so the buyer knows the reductions or removals are actually happening. Our goal as EcoRegistry is not that the projects get registered, but to build and strengthen an ecosystem that works smoothly, transparently, and is more integral. Before introducing the panelists, I wanted to show you this slide in order to understand the certification process of a project through our registry. And please, Sarah, can you help me with the screen share? The fifth slide, please. So this is this is the value chain. This is how it works, for example, right now at EcoRegistry. So when a project comes and agrees that it's going to be certified by the standard, the project starts on the formulation stage where they can upload and fill out the information needed on this stage. Afterwards, and I'm not showing here on this slide, the project is going to go to a 30-day period public comment stage. And then it will go to a validation stage where they have to upload some more information, and the validation and verification body, who has a different account, can do the signing of the validation through the platform. Afterwards, the project owner or project developer must upload some more information and documentation, and then the validation and verification body will once again sign, but in this time the verification. After the verification is signed, the project is going to go to the certification stage where the certifier is going to certify the project and the credits are going to be issued. After that, the credits can be sold or retired, or also sold through, can be transferred within EcoRegistry accounts or sold through exchanges or marketplaces that we're connected to. I wanted to show you this slide because I think this gives our panelists some context, and maybe they want to build on this. They will tell us more about their experience and how they have used technology to solve some pains that the carbon market has. So now I'm going to stop presenting and I'm going to introduce them. So our first panelist is Bela Gulaci. He is the founder and CEO of Envirex. Bella is a seasoned entrepreneur with a passion for fintech and energy tech innovation. With a diverse background, over 15 years in commodity training, including power, gas, CO2, and renewables, Bella has a proven track record in top financial institutions like Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, as well as leading energy utilities and trading houses such as Expo and Eon, demonstrating his expertise in the industry. His entrepreneurial drive and expertise contributed to Envirex's pioneering position as a fintech solution provider in multi-commodity financial trading and escrow services. Bella, we are very excited to have you here, and I'm also going to introduce Alexander. Alexander Watson is a dedicated environmental entrepreneur and CEO of Open Forests, which has been founded in 2011 as a company that operates the Explorerland platform. Together with his co founder and led by his passion for sustainability and technology, he created Explorerland, a map based platform which serves as a bridge between nature based projects and funders. Explorerland provides a unique and dynamic way of presenting these projects, telling their stories through geolocated narratives, photos, and videos on top of an interactive map. The platform leverages advanced remote sensing applications, providing an immersive and data-rich experience to its users. Alexander's missions for the past 12 years has been to promote more geo-transparency in nature-based projects, helping to build trust and enhance engagement. And I think we're going to start with Bella. So Bella, please, you can share your screen and show us more about Envirex. Thank you.
Thank you, Valentina. Thank you very much for the introduction. And let me share my screen. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, we discussed, you mentioned, Valentina, as well, that there are a lot of challenges on the market, which many participants try to solve. What we are solving is mainly focusing on how we can digitalize traditional financing. We see these market challenges as still very manual, complex processes. The approval or funding timelines are very lengthy. It's definitely not scalable. There is lacking a lot of transparency. There is no real-time price discovery, and there is no real market approach. Our solution is an end-to-end blockchain-based fintech solution. We are not just focusing on carbon, but as well, we are a multi-commodity financing, trading, and financial monitoring, reporting, verification solution. And today, definitely, we are focusing mainly on carbon projects. If I would describe each parts of the solution, starting with financing, we are focusing on early stage project financing. So this can be as well pre-PDD or post-PDD projects, where we are having a very simplified and efficient funding process. It's very important for us to be very user-friendly for everyone, not just for professional project developers, but as well newcomers. And transparency will play a big role on this part. So real-time visibility into project data, risk assessment, project monitoring is very important for us. And our goal is to achieve a wider range of investors and a wider range of projects. If it's removal, avoidance, any type of project can actually come to our platform and get financed. The second service what we are providing is the escrow management. This is where we are focusing on the financial monitoring, reporting, and verification of the funds. This has to be very transparent and robust. We are focusing to build a very accurate and transparent monitoring system. And this is basically focuses on financial milestones, KPIs, to be fully monitored, verified, and reported. What we are building at the moment, we are working on a post-finance marketplace as well, where investors, after investing in early stage projects, they can actually liquidate their future carbon credits. We call them planned carbon credits until they are issued. So we believe this will give as well increased liquidity and efficiency for the market. This will bring as well a wider range of market participants, and our goal is to make it secure and reliable. How does the platform work? So we have different users, project developers, service providers, investors. After a very quick account registration, every user has to go through a more detailed due diligence, which is not just the KIC, what we know, or AML compliance part, but as well a know your business. So we are checking each project developer or each user background. This is very important because we want to avoid any kind of blacklisted company or fraud companies on our platform. After these projects or project developers, investors, or any kind of user is onboarded successfully, the financing round is happening. So investors can get access to these projects, to early stage financing, and developers as well for early stage finance itself. And then we are allowing, and we are building I mentioned before, a trading platform for the planned carbon credits. Our robust technology allows direct connectivity to different third parties. We call them the gatekeepers. If it are global registries like Eco Registry, VVBs, auditors, insurance companies, and so on. After each project is being financed, our financial MRV takes the lead on this stage, where we are monitoring the use of funds, the KPIs, milestones. We are reporting the carbon schedules, and we are verifying if these KPIs and financial goals are being achieved. We have as well, we are working on some pilots and as well to connect to secondary marketplaces, exchanges, in order to really provide an end-to-end solution for all users in the value chain. The benefits and the values for the users are that the onboarding process is standardized. There is security and high-level risk screening for each user, done by independent and credited VVB. We are providing a transparent financial monitoring via our regulated escrow. We are providing secure, flexible money payments like the wire transfer, SEPA, and we really worked as well to achieve a centralized legal structure where we are simplifying the legal connectivity and the dealing between all participants, especially developers and investors. So we standardized as much as we could the ERPA contracts and the so-called ERTCA tokenized contracts. As well, allowing at the end future bridging to global registries, exchanges, third parties is part of our vision as well, how we can scale the business. As mentioned, our target customers are different project developers who are looking for early stage project finance, corporate investors who are not necessarily professionals, but they need a trusted platform where all this data, all this risk reporting from the projects are available on one end. Individual investors as well who would like to participate on our so-called crowdfunding Kickstarter approached financing marketplace. Professional traders, somewhere where I can identify from my past, who need robust risk management systems, liquidity, mark-to-market accesses, and not just for one particular type of projects, but any type. Service providers we are discussing here with VVBs, auditors, insurance companies, anybody in the value chain who takes a very important role in the financing and trading part. And as well, hopefully, the governments as well. We have first movers already. We started like more than a year ago, and we are very, very happy that we have very, very good support, good feedback, and looking forward to our discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bella. That was great. So I think we can now move to Alexander, and then we can start with the questions. Go ahead, Alexander.
Yeah, thank you, Valentina, for the kind introduction, and also Bella for the interesting presentation. I'm going to share my screens as well. Here we go. So I think you can see it now. So I will start. Yeah, so what will I be speaking today? Of course, about the importance of digital solutions for nature-based projects and certification. But I will have a closer look. So I will always have the question with me that's called how to go beyond carbon. And I will discuss how map-based storytelling and geotransparency can increase the value of carbon projects. So to really set a little bit the stage where we are speaking about today is basically, wait, I'm increasing my screen here. So we are speaking, I see personally 3 major challenges for developing nature-based solution carbon projects of high quality, where the carbon credits also yield high value and high prices in the market. So the first challenge, which is outlined here with the green region, is providing a quality standard like EcoCert, but that working together with a registry, so someone who provides the process infrastructure that helps to create and document the entire process in a comprehensive way. In this case, also via blockchain, and makes basically a way to generate high quality carbon credits in the first place. But then, as Bela really nice showed here on top with the green bar, another challenge is to build financial and standardized and efficient marketplace in order to get sufficient funding down to the projects, because that's really crucial. So you can have a nice standard, but if you don't get funding, it's not worth anything. But the third challenge, where I have located us at the let's say the baseline here, is build the carbon credit value. So if you look into any kind of standard and the credits, you will see that some carbon credits achieve much higher prices than the others, despite they are being certified by the same certification scheme, same auditors, and so on. So why is this? Why is that happening? I would say because the projects behind the credits have different stories, and some of these stories are really compelling and inspiring, and some stories are very generic. So for someone who buys carbon credit, it also means buying into the story of a project. So if a corporate offsetter want their brand associated with inspiring stories, they look for carbon credits which are connected to interesting stories. And the second area where the value of a carbon credit could be increased or decreased if not done well, some projects have gain more trust. And how to gain more trust? Usually this is a process of transparency, of disclosing internal information. Today, of course, we will discuss it on a digital level. So in the next few minutes, I will show examples of map-based storytelling and geotransparency and how they can be used to increase the value, basically, of each carbon credit. So I will start with the storytelling component, and I will show you now real examples of how we connect stories to corporate sponsors and with what means we do that. I've selected one example also out of a carbon project, which is an agroforestry carbon project in Indonesia. I will call it up now. So it's a project that's happening over here. And they work with, I can also use this one here. So they work with local farmers. And I will show you the location now, even in 3D. So it's an area that's quite urban. So you have smallholder farmers, and they establish these agroforestry projects to generate carbon credits. And at some, I think 3-4 weeks ago, they, April the 4th, they set up some camera traps in this project location here. So they anonymized the location because it's what they detected is a very rare and highly endangered species. So what they detected is that the Sumatran tiger is passing by in this location. And just this information that they could attach the event that a Sumatran tiger has passed by in that project is like a little jackpot for the project, because they can show that their activities really have a positive impact on the biodiversity, and even bringing such rare animal species back into this landscape. So, and of course, with that, corporate purchasers of carbon credits are really interested in that project, because they can say, okay, the story is really attached to bringing back the Sumatran tiger to this location. I will move now to another example. This is like a little bit more ordinary example. It's basically that if you generate carbon credits, they all in the nature-based space, they have a location on the ground. But usually the corporate investors live far away, sometimes thousands of kilometers. But how do you connect the story of this specific farm, of your carbon credits you have generated, with the investor far away? And through explore.land, there's a possibility to create basically tours. So we are now flying into a project here in Portugal, an agroforestry project. And in order to really show what this project is doing on the ground, so the project itself has integrated high-resolution drone maps. This allows to really see what's going on at the ground. So you see here they put some planting holes there, and then I can check out what kind of activities happened at this place. So I can open news of this site, and then I can basically take a farm tour chronologically. So I can explore what's going on at the farm and where and who's involved. So here they brought the plants for the planting hole. So they can basically document what's going on in their project in space and time on top of high resolution maps. And this creates confidence. So if an investor can see, okay, trees are growing, there's an organization behind it, so I'm not wasting my money. So these are the two storytelling examples. I want to go now become a little bit more scientific in terms of geotransparency. I want to show how geographical information, geographical data can increase transparency. So let's take this example here. It's again an example in Indonesia. Sorry, I have to fly into the project location again here. It's a project where the conservation activities on the ground should help to avoid deforestation. But how could we monitor deforestation in this location and see that, let's say, carbon credits are of high integrity and quality? So in this case, I'm switching on one of the data layers. So there's a library of different data layers, and also custom data layers could be integrated. So you see, if you zoom out a little bit, the area seems to be quite good protected, but you see also the surrounding area. There's heavy deforestation going on, which could have also a threat on the project. And you also see that the area is quite cloudy, and there are different base maps we can check out. but all of them are cloudy. So we could not really see very good what's going on. So let's go maybe into this corner over here. So it shows that there's a quite recent deforestation threat to this location. And we want to check it out, what's going on there. So please keep an eye on this location. What I will now do is I'm switching on a satellite time series. So I'm switching this off. So I can now move on a monthly base back into the past. So let's go to 2019. So you see 2019, the area was still closed. But if I'm moving now ahead, I could see that the area is slowly opening up. And I can follow this process basically till today and see how the area has evolved. So of course, in some series we have some clouds, but you will for sure find an area, even though it's a quite cloudy area, where you can analyze this project. So this is an example where as well data with satellite imagery in combination could show a potential threat and integrity of your carbon credits. I'm now moving to the last example. It's an example I like very much. I want to show for how corporates engage with projects. So this is Nike. Nike's paying money to restore forests, potentially also to develop carbon projects, carbon credits. And we want to see how these, let's say, how the money that is paid for these projects is going to the ground. I have flown into a project. It's an intensive agricultural area. And in this intensive agricultural area, the idea is to connect wildlife corridors in order to allow species to migrate. And this is an example. So this is a wildlife corridor that should connect this bigger patch of forest with the other remaining patches of forest. And if you look into the camera traps at some points, check. So you can see, where do we have it? Yes. So you can see news posts from these locations. So in this case, there is a camera trap of a tapir that have been recorded there. And Nike is paying now to close this gap. And they have give money to this project. And now if you switch on the timeline, you can prove if really trees have been planted. And they have. So Nike is quite happy that trees have been planted and is willing also to pay a premium price for such conservation projects. Yeah, so to finalize, my takeaway from what I presented and my experience of the past years is that map-based storytelling and geotransparency could create a lot of value. So especially the map-based storytelling, it helps to bring the inspiring storytelling to the surface. And most of the projects have interesting stories, but which cannot be captured in a generic carbon credits. And in addition, there's a possibility to create these geotransparency. This is super important for corporates because if they know that things really happening, they don't have so high reputational risks. And all of this together could significantly increase the value of a carbon credit. If you can prove high quality, if you have a good story, and meaning getting higher prices for carbon credits means also that more money can go to the projects. So thank you very much. That's it from my side for the moment.
Perfect. Thank you, Alexander. And thank you, Bella, again. We will start now with the discussion. But before, I want to invite the people in the audience to write the questions on the chat. My colleague Sarah will be collecting them and sending them to me. I'm really sure that you have questions about these amazing solutions that both Alexander and Bella has shown us. And I think this is very important to see that these there are new solutions that have been created with technology to enhance carbon markets, because we are seeing that transparency is needed. Transparency is something that all have mentioned here, and these solutions may help on this to go to this side. So I wanted to start with the first question. I know you mentioned some perks of how you use technology for your solutions, but I wanted you to synthesize what you consider are the primary benefits of digitizing financing, monitoring, and verification processes in today's digital landscape. I don't know who wants to start.
I can take it over just for Alexander to have a breathe. So yeah, very good question. I actually would like to follow up on Alex's presentation, because what we are doing at Envirex, we are building parallel what Alex is doing more on the project monitoring side. We are building trust on the financial part. So we see actually quite a lot of need for investors to in order to not to have reputational damage, and in order to increase and unlock the capital what is there but is still not happening, is to build that trust what's happening with their money, what's happening with their financing. So the escrow part is taking a very important financial monitoring role in this case, to make sure that they are aware, they are notified, they can see what's happening KPI by KPI basis, milestone by milestone basis. Because at the end, what we deem, before even talking about such a nice projects, what Alex was showing us, is will the project developer actually make it until there? Will they have enough finance in order to build that and operate the project itself? So we are coming way earlier. We see that the biggest challenge and where really digital solution is needed, standardization, efficiency, market approach based solution is needed already on the first days when projects are being planned. And the biggest difficulty, despite the market challenges and the traditional way of financing, is actually starts at the project developer corner, because project developers are not finance experts, they're not legal experts. They need standardized ways how they can get access and being supported. So this is what we deem as high importance, and we believe that this know-how is lying there in the corporate side and big trading companies, but it's definitely not transparent enough, and it's not standardized good enough in order that even smaller project developers or non-finance project developers can get access to this benefit of building right project. Because at the end, that's what we deem as successful and high quality, if they are able to go operational.
Yeah, maybe I can give a quick take to this question also from a more general perspective. Making something digital is something that happens in the real world. So making something digital is always a representation of a real thing that happens in the world, be it in the financial space, be it in the certification process, implementing the project, and so on. And the nice thing of making things digital is that they also improve the relationships in the real world. So just to give you an example, if you say I'm taking money in order to plant trees for carbon projects, and I'm mapping that on a map to see the progress over time, this is also a commitment. So where digital tools improve, let's say, the quality on the ground, but also the relationship with the funders. And basically, this is a paradigm that's true on all levels. Digitization is basically a representation of the real world, and sets a certain quality standard and makes this quality standard transparent and accessible for all parties. And as Bela also mentioned, transparency will help to set the foundation for relationships between investors. So you will not invest into a project if you don't understand what's going on the ground. So basically, transparency is kind of is like the currency of trust, which is the foundation for any kind of transaction between humans, and then of course between funders and these projects.
Perfect, thank you. And jumping on that, yeah, you were talking about how to enhance transparency and trust, and that the digital world is a representation of the real world. What do you guys think that are the potential risks associated with relying heavily on digital solutions, and how they can be mitigated?
Yeah, with digitization comes with early stage digitization or being on the front of finding something new or building something new comes as well with the risk that it's very software heavy. So when we are looking at our solution, it cannot be 100% digitalized. There are still human interactions. There is still admin working in the background to make sure that the onboarding processes are going well, the systems are working, the payments, everything. So it's a very, very complex. It's even more complex, and that's not something what we are discussing with our customers. But behind the scenes, there is an ongoing risk as well that probably there is a software problem, or there is any kind of data bugs, but we only know if we do it. So we are very, very quick. It's very important to react quickly, to have the right team behind you, and have a very scalable solution as well, in order to be efficient. But besides that, there are different, besides software or any kind of technical glitches, I would say, we have different regulatory and compliance risks, what we see. So we can build something, and we have to be very aware from the very beginning that there could be as well changes on the compliance side or the regulatory side. And we had here in Germany or in Europe data privacy concerns before. And I think this is now, when we are discussing the VCM market, is more like a global market. There will be definitely some risk and challenges coming with it, but I think there are many, many smart people in this industry. I think there are a lot of good, experienced people from different channels, from different niches from the market. And it's an ongoing process of solving these risks or solving these problems and reacting to it quick enough. And hopefully we do that in the right way.
Yeah, so also a small thought that just complements what Bela already said is, I think the risk of digitization is just to rely on them 100%. So I think they can capture a lot of, let's say, risks in regards to financial risk, or through monitoring activities, remote sensing, that you can see deforestation, and or reforestation through high resolution drone maps. So there are a lot of possibilities, but beyond this, I think it's always important to build real relationships between funders and the projects in a longer term, because some things could not be captured through analytics. So we have seen sufficient scandals in banking and finance where people just rely on numbers, facts, certificates, and digital monitoring. And so I think that has to come really hand in hand. It's a very valuable complementary source to get information, and also set a quality level, a minimum quality level. But understanding if a project is really committed to develop a carbon project over the next 30 years, you have to, I would say, connect to the funders, understand their mindset. Are they just in for the quick money, or are they really committed to develop a landscape with state-of-the-art technology, information, a high-quality team that could also execute the operation on the ground? So these are things which cannot measured top-down through a digital solution, that really need a bottom-up relation approach with these developers. So I think both sides are super important, and I think we are here to show how these solutions can be used in this process to build long-term relationships between funders, between investors, and the projects on the ground. And yeah, the technology can help to facilitate, but at the fundament, there should always be like a real relationship between funders and the projects on the ground to maximize risk avoidance.
Perfect, thank you. We are going to move next with this question, and from your experience, from what you have seen in the market, and with the conversations that you have with different actors, what emerging technologies do you foresee shaping the future of financing, monitoring, and verification?
Yeah, interesting topic, because each solution has their own, let's say, strength of technology. And I'm pretty sure that founders, before they started building anything, they were looking at different options. I mean, our technology as well is based on blockchain, something which is it's very, let's say, in the front line as well of discussions lately. Is it a good technology? How reliable it is? But we were looking at different solutions out there, and in order to really have a global solution, a scalable solution, we are pretty sure that blockchain is one of the technologies which will be in the front forward of the carbon financing trading. And but besides that, of course, we are conscious as well that you have to explain people as well about the blockchain. You have to. So sometimes when we are going to customers, we have different pitches as well. We are discussing first the projects, what we have on our platform, then we are discussing about the solution, what we are providing. Our solution is already, I would say, has different parts, like the financing part, the trading part, the escrow part, which have different backend solutions. And then you have to talk about blockchain as well, or about data efficiencies and so on. So it's definitely challenging in the same time, but we believe that it's simplifying the whole process, makes it very transparent, and as well secure from our point of view. So we are big fans of blockchain. But we see as well other technologies like machine learning will play a very important role probably in the future, when we have enough data and this data has to be selected. This data, we can work with the data. So I think it's just a question of time. This market is still very young before we talk about sophisticated solutions out there. So we try to keep it very simple, avoid even sometimes talking about the technology behind, because I think that the most important what developers and investors want to know is what is the solution we are providing, what is that confidence when they would like to use our services, and yeah, so that's at least our experience.
Yeah, it also mirrors our experience. So I want to focus on the geo component within projects. Within the technology, the tools, I see huge developments. So in terms of drones, some years ago, we started with one of the first drones. We built them ourselves. Now you can buy them basically in the supermarket. So everyone has drone access to drone imagery available at 1 to 2 centimeter resolution. So this is a huge leap in the development. The same applies to satellite imagery. Some years ago, you had to purchase expensive satellite imagery or have to rely on 30-meter low-resolution Landsat satellite imagery. Today, you have access, at the moment, even free access to planet imagery with 5-meter resolution and even higher resolution on a monthly base for actually every place in the world. And yeah, the accessibility of information has really increased, but also yeah, as Bela also mentioned, machine learning applications, so we can derive more information from this data. So we can see forest loss, forest gain. We can estimate biomass increase and decrease in projects. And nonetheless, what I think is also a big achievement, and it's getting more and more, is that all these tools could be connected and create different perspectives on the project. So you have a mobile app to capture the stories in the field. You have drone imagery to have high resolution. You have satellite imagery to show the project in space and time, how the carbon is evolving. You have blockchain to track, to let's say, hard code the monitoring results in a way that they can't be changed and are super transparent. So all the technology is available and now also connected. And I think this is a big chance of our time. So the question is, could we use the technology maybe together with our relations with the project to leverage more impact and again get more trust and get more funding into restoration?
That's great, and I really like the point about the connecting technology, because I want to connect that with another question that I have from the audience, but I want to leave that question for later. I'm going to start with one that we also received from a person of the audience, and is, how do you see, because we're talking a lot about technology, but we know that technology is not very easy to use sometimes. I've experienced myself in eco-registry. We sometimes, well, we constantly need to onboard our users so they can know how to use the platform, and sometimes for some of them is hard at the beginning. So how do you see that companies can ensure the accessibility and usability of these digital solutions for all users, including those that have no real experience with technology?
Yeah, it's a topic what makes us busy every single day. How user friendly we can create our solution, the onboarding processes, how we standardize all the registration, account creation, project creation, and we believe that it has to be explained in a way that everybody understands it. But in the same time, we do have to apply let's say we have some requirements which somebody, if it's new on this market, it has to be explained. So it's a lot of education needed at the very beginning, but we see actually how quick we can interact with new customers, how if we make the onboarding process, especially at the very beginning, light and user friendly. So I think we are in the process of making it better and better, and there will be always good competition actually, we where the market itself is improving. And yeah, this is how we see at the moment, and we are very, very optimistic that that could be very helpful as well.
Yeah, I can say from the past 5 years when we've been developing Explore.land as a platform, it's a big challenge to build like a simple user experience. And it's because the reality is really complex. So if you compare, let's say, our sector, nature-based solutions, to car or house rentals, so like Airbnb and Uber, it's very simple. You have one person that wants to go to some place or hire a flat for one night. This is super simple. It has a very low complexity from the subject itself. If you're speaking about nature-based projects, it starts, you have many levels of complexity. So from which people are involved, land use rights, specific ecosystems, specific intervention types, different carbon standards. So it's a bunch of complex information that are piled on top of each other. And I believe, first of all, we will not have like the marketplace that covers all the problems. So it's not transferable. So we cannot have the Uber, the Airbnb for nature-based solutions, because it's too complex, and we need different specialized solutions, basically mimicking the ecosystem. But these solutions then have to connect to each other and speak to other. So where maybe Explorer could be the geospatial component to better tell the story and do the monitoring, whether Emrex helps to catalyze the financial flows, whether eco-registry helps with the process, and then we will have auditors that help to do the work on the ground. We will have project developers. We will have lawyers to help facilitate the land title registration, and it all has to interact. And so, from coming back to your question, I think each application provides a window to the problem, and we as organizations have to help, let's say, navigate step by step the user through this complexity. And yeah, it will stay a challenge, and it's not solved yet. So people try to fly to the Mars, but they're just, there's, in comparison to that, there's little money at the moment going into nature-based solution and solving these severe problems of protecting this planet for future generations. And also everyone who's listening today, I really want to encourage you to think about solutions. So there are many solutions on how we can support carbon credits, biodiversity credits, restoration, rewilding, whatever. And there are a lot of blind spots which we can fill up with good ideas. And I really want to encourage to work together as an ecosystem of organizations that can help each others to leverage the solution, which we can only build together. So I think that's a clear takeaway. We cannot build on our own the perfect solution. We all have to work together. And only if this is really accepted, then we have a chance to build a good solution that will work for many of the actors in that sector.
Thank you. And I really like what you said about that we, the ones that we're working in technology in the carbon markets, that have to navigate this with the users. And the market, as Bella mentioned, is very young. So I mean, it's still growing. We're still learning. Everyone is learning. And what we want with technology is to make it easier for everyone to understand. I really
But
like the last. Sorry?
sorry for interrupting you.
Go
I
ahead.
think the one point I wanted to just mention what Alex said as well, and is that having so many experts from different fields coming to this market, some from finance, some from project development side, legal side, as Alex mentioned, they all bring already some know-how and expertise how other markets were functioning. So when we are looking at the financial sector, we brought a lot of similarities, and we saw a lot of similarities how power markets were working, how gas markets were working 15, 20 years ago. It was the same mess what carbon markets today are having, non-standardized legal frameworks, different price segments and regions, different methodologies, until the market found its way to be liquid, to be transparent, to be data driven. And I think this is what we are bringing to the table, using that experience, leveraging that experience as well, and making sure that we shortcut a little bit the process, because we don't really have too much time here experimenting left and right. Rather, we have to make sure that projects are being financed. Some will be well financed, some not. Some projects will survive, some projects not. So at the end of the day, we just have to speed up the processes, and I think this is where technology will play a very important role. Digitization will play another role, because that's the only way we can scale this, and this is how we can get to the target what everybody has imagined. So I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you, Bella. Yeah, that is great. And we only have 3 minutes left, but I wanted to, I wanted you to maybe give some words to different actors that maybe are not involved in the carbon markets yet, or are starting to get involved: governments, companies, different organizations. To show them, maybe because sometimes people see a technology maybe as an enemy, and they're very afraid of technology. So how can be how they can promote digital solutions in the carbon market? How can they promote transparency and trust, and help us growing the market, and for it to be better every day? So maybe just a quick remark on each side.
Shall I go first? Yeah, so I saw a quite interesting approach on how to connect organizations towards this space. And this is basically by infecting the decision makers in a company. So there's an organization that calls Leaders for Climate Action in Germany. They have, they work with 2,000 organizations now together. So their approach is go to the CEOs first and say, make your carbon neutral pledge and improve yourself. And with that first step, they then are able to lure in the entire company. And if the CEO is climate neutral and do some good things, why shouldn't the employees also not do it? So, and this way they have a chance to onboard the entire company. So I would really argue for the small steps, but which are really concrete, where you can do something immediately and have an immediate result, because that has like a very positive impact on the development of a relation, and could potentially help, if it's done in a systematic way, to bring or connect more from the corporate, from the governmental world with these projects. But it has to be step by step and in achievable steps, which can be followed and are clear for both sides.
On our side, I mean, because Envirex was built as a more market-based approached solution, we are definitely focusing on players, institutional investors, asset managers, professional traders who actually do want to have a financial return on their investments. So we believe that without a real market incentive, financial incentive, even talking with the CEO, Alex, I think it will take way too long We believe that actually there has to be a more financial driven motivation for corporates, and for that we have to assure that the risk mitigation, risk management, the transparency is there, what's happening with their finances, and yeah, for us would be the biggest success if projects are pre-financed and the risks are carried by new institutional investors, and they are rewarded for it, because it has to be a win-win situation at the end. Project developers have to get their finance early stage, but on the other side, investors, they uh, have to be incentivized in a way. So we believe that that will play a big role, like in any other commodities, and carbon is not different. So that's my takeaway.
Thank you. I really like what you mentioned because it's very important to start with the financial driven motivations for corporates. It's very important. But also, I want to highlight the small but concrete steps that Alex mentions, because it's very important in climate action. We can't deny that the small but concrete steps are the ones that are leading us to where we need to go. So now we're done with the time. Sorry, we are just 1 minute over the time. Thank you, Alexander and Bella, so much. It was very interesting to know about your solutions. I really hope that people in the audience are infected by this inspiration of the of your of what you're doing. Maybe they can connect with you. They can start with their monitoring and verification in digital. They can start with financing, and thank you everyone for watching. We in the questions, maybe our audience was very shy today, so we got them the questions, we got them private. But thank you so much, and we will see you in next webinars.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank you
Valentina.
very much, Valentina, for organizing this nice
Take
event.
care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Take care.